All right, so here's our second video. Now that we've created this sample class, let's talk about a couple of fun things you can do. One thing is you can change your theme. I love purple, so that was perfect that it came out. But if it's a gym class or art class or anything like that, you can change your class to meet kind of your personality. You can also change it just to plain, like mine's purple right now, a different color backdrop if you want to. Another thing you can do is make it personal. I've seen teachers have their kids line up on a wall, they take their picture and they upload a picture and they make that their background, which is kind of cool. Let's personalize it just a little bit more. And so here we have three parts. We have our stream, our students, and about. But let's talk about this page. If you notice, my hamburger is still up here at the top, just like it was whenever I was on the other class. There, I went outside of it. I still have my question mark down here in the bottom right or left hand side. And we talked about selecting a theme and everything. But here on our stream page, this is where our main page is when I start putting assignments. That will be here. If is something coming up that's due, you'll see it here. But this is the important part right here, your class code. This is what you would give to your students to enroll into your class. And so if you want to, you can reset that class code. So it may be letters and numbers that are a little bit easier for students to type in. So there looks one, M86, M86. That's a really cool one, really easy to do. You can't decide what yours is, but you can kind of reset it until you get one that you like. That one's perfect. I love it. So that would be my stream. So my kids would go to classroom.google.com and they would put M86 and join my class. And we'll come back to this in the bottom right-hand corner in just a minute. Let's go to students real fast. Here's where on the students tab, this is what I would give the students to join. As they join, I can send out emails to the entire class if that's something you would need to do. I can also limit how much kids can do into my Google Classroom. At the very beginning of the year, I might want to put only teachers can make a post or comment, just so I can talk about my standard, like what do I want whenever students do this. And and then as the school year goes on, a week or so into it, I might want to have where kids can comment. Because the great thing about Google Classroom is if, say you have an assignment and a kid doesn't understand, they can make a comment in there, and then another student can comment and say, well, this is what she said, or this is what she meant. And you don't have to be the only person to do that. Another thing is you can also have the kids post where they'll have a little plus sign on the bottom right hand side of their stream, and they can like add a little announcement. That's all they can do. But if you wanted your kids to kind of help and lead discussion, that might be a fun thing. If you had a kid who could not handle this freedom and they used it incorrectly, then once your kids are enrolled, you can check a student's name, and when actions, you can mute the student. And when you mute them, they just don't have access to comment and post like maybe the other kids in the class do. That's just something great to release to your kids because it just teaches them how to interact online, which is a skill that they need to learn. And the last page over here, the About tab, is an awesome page that if you need to have just standard things that you have all year long that you want the kids to have access to. This will be a page they go to when they need something. But here you can title your class the same. You can add a description. You can put the room number if that's something that you want to do. And it's also a place where they can go straight to their Google Drive folder. Or they can go to their Google Calendar, which I love. Classroom always sets up a calendar specific for your class, which I think is awesome, so kids can see when their assignments are due. Then on here, you can put like websites that you think are really great, and some that I think are, AliceKeeler.com. And so I can add that, and then when I can post it, and there's her website, and say I want to go back and add a website later. I can go back and I can edit one, and then I can add another one. And so that's just really cool. You can add more links or videos or stuff that you want the kids to have access to. I've seen teachers put their syllabus on here since you can download from your Google Drive. Those are just places to keep your information. Also here you can invite teachers. Perfect for co-taught classes that teachers need to be able to go in and monitor things I had some teachers who allowed me to go into their classroom as an invited teacher, and I didn't do anything. I just kind of looked to see their side of things, and it was awesome. So inviting a teacher is also an option in your About, only for teachers. So next, let me go back here to the stream and do one other thing. So over here in the bottom right, there's the plus sign. On the student side, they can only make a post or an announcement. But here we have 4 different options. I'm only hovering over that. I'm resting on it. I'm not clicking that plus button. But then once I decide to go up and choose something, I can click on it. So say I had a post from another class that I wanted to reuse. I can choose what class I want to use it. And maybe it was that post, and I can reuse that post in this classroom. So I'm just going to, so that was really cool. And I can go through and I can change this if I want to. If you notice, I use hashtags. That is an Alice Keeler suggestion that is brilliant. So every assignment, put a hashtag on it, because I might not know the name, but you could easily tell a kid, hey, you're missing assignment number 13. And they're going to be able to find that so much easier than a name. So hashtag with 3 digits is a great tool to use. You can assign due dates and all of that also. And I can also assign things to multiple classes, which is awesome. We'll talk about it a little bit more. So that was just using a post from another class, reposting something. I went to the plus sign, rested on it, and went to reuse a post. Didn't even have to do anything. It's something I had done before. Maybe it's an old class or something that you want to reuse that assignment. I can create a question. This is a newer feature from Google Classroom. Are you bringing lunch on field trip tomorrow? Goodness, it could help if I could spell with it. And then you could have this do whenever. Students can reply to each other. They can edit. So I can make this a multiple choice, or I can just make it a short answer. And I can schedule this to come out at a certain time, but say I just want this right now, then I can ask it. It will pop up on my feed. If you notice, I don't have a hashtag with it because it's just a question. It's got a little symbol different right here. And so this is great because you can see how many kids are enrolled in your class and who have answered it. Questions and assignments are really great. Announcements are here, assignments. So if I want to create a brand new assignment, create a slide, I can go here and put the instructions. I can go to my Google Drive and do something, or I can just assign it. There's also, when you want it due by, you can turn that on, and the kids can still turn it in after the due date, but it just tells you that it's late, which is kind of a great feature. And then if I wanted to, I can schedule this. Like, I don't want this to go out until June 16th at, I don't have the due date that late, so because I have it turned in. So I can have it not open up until, like, say, 3rd period, which starts at 10 o'clock a.m. I can schedule that to go out whenever I'm ready. And so if you notice here, it's under saved post still. And the last thing is an announcement. Announcements I would use not as often because you can't see how many people have actually looked at that and answered that question. So maybe I just want to put a website up here. And I just want to post it. Then it just kind of makes a post. Here it is right here. It doesn't have anything but my picture. But I can't see, kids can just see it. But I love questions and assignments because it tells me how many people are not done. And that way I can kind of judge who is really looking at this. So those are some different options here. And if you notice, I have one of those saved posts still because I haven't had anything done there. So once you are done, you can just kind of go through and look at all these features. I mean, that's a basic Google Classroom 101. But if you have any questions, feel free to email me at rblackwell@pcssd.org. And I'll also do a video for the student side, just a couple of things that may look a little different.